Jimin entered Taehyung's office, his face a mixture of concern and urgency. Taehyung barely glanced up from the papers in front of him. Jimin, Tae, we need to talk. Taehyung's brow furrowed. What now? Jimin sighed, walking closer to Taehyung's desk. Jimin, Mira told me something. Y/N knows the truth. Taehyung froze, his pen hovering above the document. His eyes flickered with a mix of surprise and frustration. Taehyung, what truth? Jimin crossed his arms. That it wasn't your decision to remove her from the team. She confronted your dad. Taehyung's grip tightened around his pen. I need to talk to her. Taehyung stormed into their apartment later that evening, his expression dark. Y/N was sitting on the couch, flipping through a book, when she felt his presence. She looked up to see him standing there, arms crossed, tension radiating from him. Taehyung, you spoke to my dad? Y/N's eyes widened slightly. She closed the book, placing it on the table. Y/N, yes. I wanted to know why you removed me from the team, and he gave me all the answers I needed. Taehyung sighed deeply, running a hand through his hair as he paced. Why didn't you tell me? Y/N, I wanted to hear it from you, Taehyung. But I knew you wouldn't tell me, so I went directly to him. Y/N stood up, moving closer to him. She stared into his eyes, her voice steady. Y/N, your dad told me everything, Tae. He said I was removed from the team because I challenged you, that I raised doubts about your capabilities by going over your head to the president. He made it sound like it was all my fault. Taehyung shook his head, visibly agitated. Y/N, but I realized something. It wasn't you who wanted me gone. It was him. He manipulated the situation, Taehyung. Taehyung looked away, clearly conflicted. His jaw clenched as he processed her words. He's always been that way, but you don't know the half of it. The scene shifts to Taehyung sitting in his father's office, his father leaning back in his chair, a smug expression on his face. Mr. Kim, did you hear the rumors, Taehyung? They're questioning your abilities, saying you only got this position because of me. Taehyung's expression was impassive. I don't care about rumors. They'll die down once people see my work. Mr. Kim scoffed, leaning forward. These rumors are because of her, Y/N. She went over your head, questioned your authority. How can your fiancé not listen to you when you're her superior? Taehyung frowned. Y/N had a point. I should have listened to her. The patient's family was pressuring for an abortion, but the girl deserved a say in it. Y/N was right. Mr. Kim's eyes darkened. You're her superior, Taehyung. She needs to respect that. Taehyung sighed. She does respect me, Dad. But I won't force her to apologize in front of everyone. I can't embarrass her like that. Mr. Kim's tone hardened. Then remove her from your team. If she can't respect you, she doesn't deserve to be there. Taehyung's eyes widened in shock. Remove her? She's my fiancé, and she's one of the best surgeons we have. Mr. Kim raised an eyebrow. Either you remove her, or I'll have her fired. Taehyung stood up abruptly, fists clenched. You can't fire her, Dad, she is one of the best surgeons. Mr. Kim's lips twisted into a smirk. I'm the president of this hospital. Don't forget that. Flashback ends. Back in the present, Y/N stared at Taehyung, her expression a mix of shock and anger. Y/N, I can't believe your dad would do that. But what's worse is that you didn't tell me. Taehyung's face softened. Y/N, I wanted to protect you. Y/N shook her head, stepping back. By not telling me? By playing along with his manipulative games? I would have apologized, Taehyung, if you had just been honest with me. Taehyung sighed heavily. I know. I messed up. I should have told you. Y/N crossed her arms, her disappointment clear. You let him play us both. And now. I don't even know what to think. Taehyung stepped closer, his voice low and sincere. I'm sorry, Y/N. I'll fix this. I won't let him interfere with us anymore. Y/N looked into his eyes, her expression softening. I won't hold it against you, Taehyung. But I'm done with these manipulations. If he wants to play his games, let him. I'm not going to let it affect us anymore. She took a deep breath and added quietly, I won't tell you I know the truth, because if you want to hide it to keep your father's words, then fine. I don't care anymore. Taehyung looked at her with a mix of regret and gratitude, pulling her into a tight embrace. The confrontation brought a painful truth to light, but Y/N's decision to not confront Taehyung with the full truth showed her trust in him, despite everything. Together, they silently agreed to move forward without letting Mr. Kim's manipulations break them apart. But deep down, both knew that things had changed, and from now on, they would have to be more careful, both with each other and with the world they were building together. Taehyung's father in this fanfiction is portrayed as a manipulative, ego-driven, and controlling figure. His primary concern is preserving the family's reputation and authority, and he will go to any lengths to achieve this, even if it means putting his son or Y/N in difficult situations. He is obsessed with power and public perception, using manipulation to pressure Taehyung into removing Y/N from his team. Despite pretending to be supportive, he secretly orchestrates events to maintain control. His lack of empathy and willingness to manipulate both personal and professional dynamics cause tension between Taehyung and Y/N, making him a central antagonist in the story.